You listen to the wrong people.
Has anything exciting happened lately?
You could say so. It wasn't that long ago. A thief ran by here. He must have stolen a bow in the lower part of the city.
Typical,
Of course, the militia came here way too late, like always. He got away from them, just jumped into the harbor, and he was gone.
I'm no better off myself.
Show me your wares.
And it's going to get even worse.
You never would have thought of that about it differently.
And it's going to get even worse.
That's all just gossip. You listen to the wrong people.
Why are you hammering?
For days now, I've been desperately trying to fix the leaks in my house. The rafters have been crumbling away ever since we had those rainfalls recently. Soon everything's gonna come down around my ears.
You hardly know who to believe.
Hello? Are you feeling quite well?
Fine, just as long as I manage to get all this repaired in time.
I can't help it.
Really? That's not how interesting.
I'm not telling you anything new. About it differently.
He simply talks too much.
What with?
I'm no better off myself.
Don't tell this to anyone.
I'm no better off myself.
These are bad times.
What are you doing here?
This is my home. But if you mean, what do I do all day? I arrange fights.
You arrange fights?
Every day, from noon until evening. And right here, behind the warehouse in the Harbor District. Home sweet home.
You live behind the warehouse?
It's only temporary. When you have as much gold as I do, you can afford a little luxury. I was a drill instructor in the Army, but I left that bunch to seek my fortune in adventure. Now I've wound up in this shithole. My last 100 gold pieces went to the guards at the city gate, so I'm seeing to it that I come into money again. I even had to sell my sword.
To whom did you sell the sword?
I swapped it with a trader in the marketplace for some stuff. The guy's called Jorah. The torches and the bit of meat that he gave me are long used up.
He isn't likely to give me the sword for nothing.
It's an old sword. He won't want much for it. Just think of the money as an extra stake for the fight.
That's not what I heard.
Can you train me?
If you really want to learn how to fight, then go up against me. The lesson is no extra charge.
What do you know about the war against the orcs?
There's not much to tell. The war's been going on for too long. The country people are starving. Everywhere there are peasant revolts that are put down mercilessly by the king. But there's just too many of them. If the war doesn't end soon, the realm will fall apart.
He simply talks too much.
What are the rules for the fight?
Quite simple. All regular weapons are allowed, no bows or crossbows, and no magic. We fight until one of us drops. And as soon as one of us is flat on his back, it's over. Got it? Whoever leaves the ring is out. So if you quit, I win. The stake is 50 gold coins. If you win, you get 100 back. If not, well, then your money is down the drain. Got it?
Yep.
Everybody knows by now.
Hear ye,
I wanna fight
inhabitants
against
of
you.
Corinthus.
Do you have
By the
50 gold
explicit
pieces?
Order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the
Here you
following
are.
decree
We
is
have a new
hereby
challenger.
enacted.
The
The
bets are
security
placed.
measures for the
Are you
protection
ready?
of the upper quarter will be further strengthened.
Come here.
The guards
Then
on
let's
the
see
gates
what
are
you can
ordered
do.
to interpret the law and the
Ah, a fight.
What you waiting for?
Give it your all. Give it your all.
Not bad.
Nothing to be had there.
It's really not my problem.
Hey, you.
He can't
What's new?
I wonder why the Paladins are here at all. They're holding the town hall, the barracks, and the harbor, but they haven't actually done anything so far. If they were here about the orcs or the bandits, they would have done something ages ago. There must be another reason.
That's not what I heard.
Nobody.
What can you tell me about this area?
You are now in the harbor district. Where do you want to go?
It's a bad business.
Thanks, that's all I wanted to know.
I can't take care of everything for everybody.
There's nothing you can
Hear
do about
ye, inhabitants of Corinus. By the explicit order of the Honorable
Boy,
Lord Hagen,
that lunatic's hammering is wearing me down.
Who are you talking about?
Can't you hear that hammering? Who do you think hammers all day long in the harbor district? I mean that lunatic felon. He takes the hammer to his hut every day.
are herewith urged to join the royal militia.
I could take care of Felon.
You want to help me? What's in it for you?
You tell me.
Oh, that's how it is. All right, if you can get him to stop hammering, I'll pay you 25 gold pieces. But I'll tell you one thing right now. You can't talk to the guy. He's nuts. The only thing that will help is a few decent punches.
I'll see what I can do.
You can think about it. Remember, I'll pay you 25 gold coins.
Are those your sheep?
The only one that belongs to me is the one that answers to the name of Lucy. That's my wife, Lucy. The sheep belong to the militia. All the sheep they collect from the farmers, they bring to me.
And how are the sheep?
Felon's hammering is going to drive them crazy. One of these days, they'll go completely to pieces.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinus. By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen,
You've got no.
What do you want, smart kid?
Honestly, I witnessed it myself. Go away, don't take it.
Wait a minute. Could you stop hammering?
No, I have to finish this.
Just quit hammering, okay?
Just try not to bug me too much, okay?
Stop that hammering or I'll break every bone in your body.
Forget it, or I'll knock some sense into your head with my hammer. You'll
And now for the. Don't stop now. That hit the spot.
Don't you try that again.
Wait a minute.
Okay, so you beat me. Some heroic deed that was.
Will you stop hammering now or do I have to thrash you again?
No, don't hit me anymore. I'll stop. But if everything collapses around here, it'll be your fault.
Felon will hammer no longer.
Hear that? No more hammering. At last, I thought the fellow would never quit. You've done me a huge favor. You know what? I'll give you 30 gold pieces.
And how are the sheep?
The sheep eat and get fatter and fatter. Just like my wife.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinth.
That's not what I...
Hey, you!
That's an open secret.
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes...
Don't say. You don't say. Someone's gotta do the work.
You don't have to ask me that.
That's terrible.
So I can tell you.
I might get so worked out. Someone's gotta pay for that.
I couldn't get away with that.
That's the first I've heard of it.
That's not what I heard.
That's nothing.
That's an open secret.
I'm no better off myself.
And it's gonna get even worse.
It's better to watch out. Ain't tell what.
Hey,
He doesn't see that. I can't help
what's going on at the harbor?
The orcs are breathing down our necks and you're asking
I...
the biggest problem we have.
It's really not my problem.
It's exactly what I said.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Why haven't I heard about this before?
I agree with you completely.
Who says things like that?
You have to feel sorry.
Honestly, I witnessed it myself.
Everybody knows by now.
You don't say.
Hey, you!
And Beliar spoke to another creature, but Adanos brought forth the tide, and the creature was washed from the face of the earth. But with it, the trees and animals were also washed away, and a deep sadness overcame Adanos.
These are bad times.
Why won't they listen to me?
He talks too much. Everybody knows by now.
Really, how interesting. But that's terrible.
That's an open secret. Really? How interesting.
He simply talks too much.
About the
Can't take
thief.
care of
Yes,
everything
how's
for
it going?
everybody.
Have you caught him? And much more importantly, do you have my gold?
But that's terrible.
If I hadn't seen it with my
He
own
got away from me.
I don't believe
And what about my gold? Did he get away with
My
it?
husband thinks, and it's going to get even worse.
Everybody knows.
Here's the 50 gold pieces he stole
Everybody
from
knows
you.
by now.
Inos be praised.
He knows by now.
There is still justice in the city.
Who says things like that? And he works all day too.
That's an open
What do you know about the Thieves Guild?
That's not what
Right.
my husband
Listen up.
thinks.
You haven't heard anything of what I'm about to tell
That's
you
not what my
from
husband
me. Capiche? There are shady characters who frequent the dockside inn. I bet the landlord
These are
knows a
bad
thing or
times.
two. If you're planning to track down the thieves, you should go talk to him. You could act like you're up to something crooked, for example.
Now that's
Maybe he'll fall for it.
and it's
But
gonna
be
get
very
worse.
careful.
You
These
don't
people are
say.
not to be trifled with.
That's not what my husband thinks.
But that's terrible. And it's gonna get even worse.
Alric says you got his sword.
Everything for everybody.
Do you mean that ragged fellow who traded his weapon to me for a few torches and chunks of meat?
Honestly,
That's
I wouldn't
him.
tell
I
myself.
still have the sword.
These are
How much do you want for it?
Well, for you... so what? Here, take it. After
didn't
all,
say.
you did help me get my gold back.
And he works all day too. I can't take care of everything for everybody.
I want part of the gold as a reward.
Go.
But I already gave you a valuable hint.
Now
That
that's
should suffice as reward for you. If it's gold you want, then hunt down the thieves and collect the bounty from Lord Andre. Now, I must get back to my customers.
These are bad times.
These are bad times.
Show me your where.
That's not what I heard.
That's an open secret.
Sh-
That's what I've always said.
Really? How interesting. He simply talks too much.
Honestly, I witnessed it myself. Don't tell this to anyone.
Everybody knows by now. Someone's gotta do the work.
I can't take care of everything for everybody, and it's going to get even worse.
He had better shut up. But that's terrible.
He'd better shut up. He'd better shut up.
He had better shut up. I don't believe that.
He can't keep anything to himself. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
Now that's typical, isn't it?
Show me your...
Everybody knows by now.
You don't say. I don't believe that.
Everybody knows by now. Really? How interesting.
Here you go.
That's terrible. That's not what my husband thinks.
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. And it's gonna get even worse.
He'd better shut up. And he works all day, too.
I don't believe that. That's an open secret.
He simply talks too much. That's an open secret.
That's not what my husband thinks. That's not what my husband thinks.
Go away, don't tell me that. Honestly, I witnessed it
Now
myself.
that's typical, isn't it? Go away. Don't tell me that.
That's not what I heard.
Put away that weapon.
Smart kid.
So, doing all right?
What else do you want? I didn't steal anything else, honest, man.
Let...
Come back when...
Hey, you're not quite as stupid as you look.
I've come to collect...
By reason of the imminent danger of an attack by orcs, each inhabitant of the city is to prepare himself accordingly. Everyone is to begin training in the skills of combat immediately, and to arm himself appropriately.
Oh, man. You packed quite a punch. I see you already took your gold. You could have waited until I gave it to you. I keep my word. And one more thing. No one talks about what goes on behind the warehouse. The militia puts everyone who does the slightest thing here behind bars. And those boys don't like to see betting on fights.
I've got your sword.
Ah, that's much better than fighting with an old stick.
I want to fight against you.
I only fight from noon until evening. The fighting is only worth it if there are enough spectators who place bets. It's still too early. Come back later.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinus. By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted. By reason of the...
That doesn't surprise me. Better watch out. Nobody will learn anything from me. Some problem solve themselves. You listen to the wrong people.
He should have known. I want to fight against you.
I only fight from noon until evening. The fighting is only worth it. It's still too...
Nobody ever asks me.
Doesn't surprise me.
What's wrong?
I want to fight against you.
Do you have 50 gold pieces?
Here you are.
We have a new challenger. The bets are placed. Are you ready?
Come here.
Then let's see what you can do.
Ah,
And
a
now
fight.
for the fun part.
Get him, boy!
Now.
Get him, boy!
Now.
Get him, boy!
Now.
Not bad at all.
Do you...
That's what I've always
We... Are you ready?
Come here.
Then...
And now for the
What you
finish
waiting
him.
for?
Not bad.
Someone's gotta do the work.
That's really not my problem.
Honestly, it's good itself.
That's an open secret.
Don't tell this to anyone.
I'm staying on it. Tell me that isn't true.
Will it ever change?
I'm not touching that.
That's no secret. You don't have to tell me that.
You're a fisherman?
Now, how did you ever guess that? Can't you simply leave me alone? Don't take it personally, but I haven't been too happy lately. It's that militia.
Trouble with the militia?
Those bastards keep coming here and taking whatever they want. Last week, they made off with my entire catch. It's for a good cause, they said. I know that everybody's got to fend for himself since the farmers have stopped trading. And of course, sometimes people just go hungry. Small wonder that they're snatching the fish from right under my nose. But if they keep doing this, I won't even have enough to feed myself.
Have you talked to the paladins about this?
Are you joking? Do you really think they'd be interested if a poor devil like me has his problems with the militia?
Maybe I can help you.
I don't know. I suppose you'd have to know somebody from the militia who has connections to the Paladins. The Paladins will hardly buy the fish from me.
I shall see what I can do. Your buddy William has disappeared?
So he has. He's a fisherman, but a little too big for his boots, I should add. He should have stayed well away from that bunch.
When did you last see him?
Only a few days ago.
Maybe he just went out to sea to fish.
That's not very likely. His boat is still moored in the harbor.
What's he been up to?
William had some shady dealings with those crooks. I think it was all about contraband that he sold to the bastards.
He'll surface again.
I don't think so. He's been gone for too long already. I'm afraid that I'll be dragging his body from the sea at some point.
What bastards would those be?
I don't know who they are or what their business is here in Corinus. I only know the place where they met up with William. I just happened to see William there when I was fishing in the bay.
Where exactly is that meeting place?
There's a bay opposite the harbor, north of here. You can only reach it by boat or swim. There's a beach there and a small fishing camp. That's where I saw them.
I think I've heard enough.
Spare yourself the effort. I don't believe you'll find him.
Can you tell me?
My friend William, one day.
So, how are the fish biting?
I've seen better times. Too little to live on, too much to die.
Don't say you didn't know that.
Tell me that isn't true. He thinks it's as easy as...
These are bad times.
Nothing amazes me anymore.
These are bad times.
So I don't learn anything from me. I don't want to hear that anymore.
Someone's got to do the
That
work.
doesn't surprise me.
The job went well.
I need... Give me some...
You listen to the wrong people. See that?
Nobody will learn anything from me.
There you are at last. I've been waiting here for hours. Just a moment. You're not a merchant from town, are you? Where is Baltram?
Who are you?
I don't see how that's any of your business. But if you must know, my name is Skip. Does that ring a bell?
Who?
Are you telling me you've never heard of Skip? Holy shit! Where do you live? I'm one of Corinus's most wanted criminals. Me and my boys have been the scourge of the waters around this crummy island for years. Come on, you must have heard of me.
But of course. It's all coming back to me now.
Honestly, you've really heard of me before? Oh shit! And I had been thinking of strolling into town. Good thing I didn't. The militia would have put me in the slammer right away.
Baltram, you're waiting for a merchant?
Smart kid, aren't you? That's what I just said, isn't it? That good-for-nothing junk merchant seems to have forgotten me. If only I could get my hands on him.